Superior Court. In Rhode Island, the Superior Court is the court of general jurisdiction. All the major jury trials are held in the Superior Court. As the presiding justice, or the chief justice, I manage 21 other judges. I've been a judge for 33 years now, and that's basically it.
How do you like it?
Well, I've been there 33 years, so I enjoy it.
Do you have any difficult cases coming up, or that may be challenging for you?
Well, every case in their own particular way has a challenge that is presented to the judge, be it the station fire case, the murder of the Providence police officer, a medical malpractice case, or just a boundary dispute. To some people, the issue to be resolved by the court is most important. So whether it's a high-profile case or just an average case, they're all challenging, and I enjoy them all.
Well, great. I enjoyed you being here today. This was a good, positive ceremony for everyone involved, and I really appreciate you stopping by, Judge.
Thank you
very much. And back
you.
to you guys.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be invited, and very proud to know the Ronci family, particularly Freddie, Gerda.
We're honored to have you. I can't think of a more appropriate individual to just tell about the generosity of this family. I really thank you for your time. I'm just good to be here. I thought it was a great idea. So with that, I'll let Mr. Ronci finish off. Thank you very much, man. Thank you all for coming. I know the people that are here are very dear to my family, my uncle, my aunts,
Okay, this is Ralph Medici at the Salvatore Mancini Resource and Activity Center with Fred Ronci from the Ronci family. And Fred, tell us what's going on here today.
Well, today we thought it would be fitting that to pay tribute to my grandmother and grandfather for all that they've done for all of our family and for the people that belong to the family that weren't related, and for all their friends. And so we thought it would be fitting after all these years to have a little dedication on this property where they developed the world's largest buckle manufacturing company in the world. And from that did a lot of charitable things for friends and churches and organizations.
Now tell us a little bit about the manufacturing company and when it was started, and obviously they manufactured buckles, and how long they were in business for.
Well, and if you want to go way back, they started in their basement, really, and the first 4 children used to kick a foot press and didn't go to school. And when a truant officer would come by, they'd have to just jump in bed and say they were sick. But from that, they stemmed here and grew it to what it is today with their 9 children.
Now, how many people were employed approximately?
Well, they were involved in many different corporations, all the way from metals to textiles and chemicals.
Really? Okay.
Prescott Textile, Rhode Island Chemical, Baby Safe, Duracrete, Cranston Lumber,
wow.
Ronci Manufacturing, Ronci of Mexico, Canada, even in Cuba, Castro took one of their companies away. But they did quite a bit from a humble beginning.
Okay, now talk a little bit about the giving back that they did. I know they gave a lot back in North Providence and throughout the state. Can you just touch base on that a little bit?
Well, for what little bit I know, because I really don't know everything, but I know they were very instrumental in building the first playground for the Meeting Street School, when it was where I don't even know where it was, but that's where it was. And they were very instrumental in acquiring the land for the Fogarty Center on Woonasquatucket Avenue, and they were very instrumental, along with my uncle here, Frank A. Ronci.
Hello, Frank.
Who was instrumental with the bike pathway in Lincoln, which was the start of the canal bike path that goes up towards the end of Woonsocket, towards Worcester.
That's great, man. Well, you guys are doing a great job for the town of North Providence. You continue to do it. We really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you around doing more charitable events too.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Back to you guys. Okay, this is Ralph Medici on JTV with the Mayor of North Providence, Ralph Mollis. Mayor, how are you making out today?
Excellent. Beautiful day, wonderful ceremony, and Glad to be here.
Great. Now tell us a little bit about this ceremony here today.
This was actually pushed by Fred Ronci. He approached me about a year ago and told me the history of his family. I mean, we all know about the Ronci company here, but a lot of us are unaware of the charitable contributions and what they gave to the Fogarty Center and just their dedication to the community. This is a great idea to remind future generations of what was here, but also remind future generations of the charity with this great family and how they've really made a difference here in North Providence. It was an honor to be mayor and do this today.
Great. Speaking about being mayor, you've been mayor for about 10 years now,
10 years,
Ralph.
yes.
Just bring us up to speed about your 10 years and what's that been like?
It's been, at first it's been an honor. I mean, it's been an honor to be mayor of your hometown. And when we came here, we set a list of goals that we wanted to accomplish, and we've done that. From balanced budgets to new schools to a nationally recognized school system, great services, revitalized villages. If I'm fortunate enough to be elected Secretary of State, we will be looking back on these last 10 years and realize that we've left behind a community better than the one we found. And as a lifelong resident of North Providence, as someone who's bringing up his children here, I can't think of anything else that I could be more proud of than the fact that we have left behind a community better than the one we found.
Well, I'm sure it is. It's definitely been, you know, doing a great job over the past few years.
Thank you.
Now, getting back to your campaign for Secretary of State, can you just bring us up to speed on that? Tell us how that's going.
Sure. The campaign's going great. It's actually the primary September 12th, which is about 3 weeks away. We finally have a debate scheduled tomorrow evening, which is long awaited. At first, my opponent did not want to debate. Through some public pressure, he has agreed to debate, and I think that is crucial because over the last year, there's been so much negative attacks and negative money spent on attacking our campaign that it's nice to finally talk about the issues that the people of Rhode Island want to hear about. Campaign's going great, and we're going to go out there and explain that this is an office where we can make a difference for Rhode Islanders. It's an office where we can open up the doors of government, where we can educate voters, make it easier for people to vote, make it easier for people to open up a business in Rhode Island, promote our treasures through the archives and the library. It's a job that 8 years from now, I hope people become more aware as to what the Secretary of State does and how it really can improve the lives of Rhode Islanders. We're looking forward to it. So far, it's going great.
It is. Now, talk a little bit about what you've done as mayor and how that could help the people of Rhode Island as being Secretary of State.
Well, I mean, obviously, the experience, not only as mayor, the experience in the private sector when I ran a business for 10 years, and my experience in the public sector managing a $74 million budget, the experience in government and helping people, the election system that we run here in North Providence. There's no question that we can take that experience and move to the next step and do a good job for all of Rhode Islanders. To walk into the Secretary of State's office, I'm confident, experience, leadership, a proven track record of accomplishments will allow that person to do a good job, and I think that's important if you're going to have one of the 5 statewide offices currently held in Rhode Island. I think that experience is going to be a tremendous asset and allow us to accomplish things for all of Rhode Islanders.
Great. Now, as far as the people out there, not in North Providence, I know you do have a following. I've seen the signs around Cranston. I've seen them around Providence. Just if you could just leave them with one simple message is why they should maybe vote for you and you be their leader.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, first and foremost, feel free to visit us at www.mollis2006.com. Gives a great opportunity for you to read a biography, list a platform of accomplishments and what we want to do as Secretary of State. I think that not only do we bring the experience and integrity and character to the office, but most importantly, there's a proven track record there of public service. And it's something that 10 years as a councilman, 10 years as mayor, I have truly had that desire to serve, desire to make a difference. And I would love to bring that desire and that track record to this Office of Secretary of State and move forward over the next 8 years and make Rhode Island a better place to live. And for that reason, I would ask the people of Rhode Island to have the confidence in us, and I would love their support, and I promise you come January of 2007, we will make you proud.
Great, Ralph. I really appreciate you stopping by, Mayor.
My pleasure.
You've done a great job here and great job for North Providence. I'm sure you can do it for the state.
Definitely.
Thank you. Back to you guys. Okay, this is Ralph Medici on JTV back at the Sal Mancini Activity Center with Marge Fitzgerald. Marge, what brings you here today? How did you get to come here today?
I was invited by Fred Ronci. I was in the town hall paying my tax bill, and he came up to me and said, I know you're from Mount Pleasant. You grew up on Berlin Street, and we reminisced, and he asked me to come today.
Now, to bring us up to speed about where you live now, Mrs. Fitz.
I'm on Woonasquatucket Avenue, North Providence. I've been there almost 50 years. and I've been a resident of North Providence for 50 years. I've enjoyed it. We got a great mayor. He does a lot for the senior center. They have a lot of activity. They have fashion shows, and he participates in them. It's a great town.
Now, Mrs. Fitz, can you just take us back in a little history here now? Back in the day, I know you had the paper routes, you and your boys. Can you just touch base on that a little bit?
We had a paper route of 100 customers. I'd help deliver the papers with my sons, and many times on Saturday or Sunday they'd go to the beach, and my husband and I would deliver the papers so that they could have a good time at the beach for the weekend.
And I know, just to give everyone a little history, when I was probably 12 or 13 years old, I was fortunate enough that you gave one of the paper routes to me on my street. That was a total dream come true.
Right.
And I never forgot it. And but she put the strict rules down as far as the time of delivery, the customer service. I mean, you really taught me and your boys a lot, Mrs. Fitch. You really did.
That's right.
Well, great. You and your family's always been wonderful to the town of North Providence and myself, and I really appreciate you stopping by again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and back to you guys. Thanks again, Mrs. Fitch. Okay, this is Ralph Medici on JTV here in North Providence at the Salvatore Mancini Resource and Activity Center with the dedication to the Ronci family. We hope you enjoy watching the show. We had some great interviews, and I'd like to thank everyone watching the show today, and I would like to thank everyone that stopped by for the interviews. Back to you guys. Okay, this is Ralph Medici on JTV. We are wrapping up the 8th annual North Providence Boys and Girls Club Alumni Association Golf Tournament here at Triggs Memorial Golf Course with Don Placido. Don, how'd you make out today?
As in golfing?
Well, just your overall experience.
Well, I don't golf. I mean, second of all, I think I had a great experience with everyone here today. I had a great joy in seeing many of the former club members who continue to come out and support this tournament for this being the 8th one. I did win a couple of raffle prizes, one which I gave away, the other one which I'll keep. But overall, for me, to be able to get out and though I'm somewhat confined to home now, to be able to come out once a year and see these guys that come back and support the club, as you and as the gentleman that's behind the camera, it gives me some of the most precious memories that I'll ever have in my entire life, and that I continue to have. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get out as much as I used to, but for me to be able to be here and see the love that these guys have come back to give the North Providence Boys and Girls Club, for me is the ultimate, most awesome thing that happened, and that does happen in my life, and it's an honor for me to be here.
Now, Don, let me ask you, now bring us up to speed. Now, you were the director for how many years? Can you just bring us back a little bit, Don?
Actually, I was the first program director at the North Providence Club, which commenced in March of 1968. And incidentally, in March of 2008, we will celebrate our 40th year of that club's opening in North Providence. And then in 1973, after a short sabbatical at the Orneville Boys and Girls Club, I came back and became director for that club, which I remained there until about 2000. And after that, I moved to some position at the Central Service Office. And then, fortunately, later, my health is put me to a point where I'm no longer involved. But I am mentally involved. So, at the club, probably 27 years, I suppose, if that's my mathematics are correct.
Now, can you just talk about some of the people that helped you along the way who was just as involved as you were, Don?
Oh, certainly. There were many people who were still involved, and some of the certainly the one that means the most to me is the person who really started the club in North Providence, the club's first director, Jim Kelly, and he is still with us, and he was actually my mentor in many ways, and I learned a lot from him. But there were many volunteers who came in on the scene from the beginning. Your dad was one. There was many others. And some of the original staff, like Ernie DeNoncourt and Peter Icabucci, who are still serving that club in many ways. And countless number of volunteers from working within the club and working the soccer league too many to mention names that I might be able to leave somebody out, and I don't want to do that. But there were many, many people. And if I had to put the numbers